Store Clerks. All movies, all the time. Welcome to the store.
Oh, that's so energizing.
I like it.
I love the intro. That's the first time I've seen it, actually.
It works.
Welcome to Video Store Clerks. I'm Dave.
Chuck.
Andrew.
We'll get better at that too.
We'll call him delayed, but we'll go with Andrew.
Chad's not with us for the moment. He'll be along
Chad's fine. He's just not there at the moment.
He's fine.
Wording, dude. Wording.
Yeah,
all horrible things
Chad
have
is
happened.
fine. He'll be along later. There we go.
He's still right. I'm happy.
Oh, gentlemen, what a week.
Oh my god.
Do we want to talk about what happened Sunday? Or do we just move on with our lives?
Let's really quickly, because I feel like we are a podcast thing. We do give our opinions. Everybody else is. We'll do it real quick. We're not gonna. We're gonna go right into this and get the fuck right out, because I think all of us are okay with it, right?
Then we're gonna push the elephant out of the room and move on.
Yeah, to other bad things that's happened this past week and a half.
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
Yeah. So Dave, what's your thoughts on? Because of course we're talking about Will Smith smacking the shit out of Chris Rock.
Yeah, at first I thought it's a total work. I thought it was a total work, just because just by going by the cameras. Not only did they not cut away, normally when somebody rushes the stage or even heckles, they'll cut away. Not only did they not cut away, but they moved in closer with another camera to get the reactions, to show Will still sitting there. Not only did they not cut away when he dropped the first F-bomb, but they stayed on him long enough to get a second F-bomb.
Actually, first it was Will Smith laughing, all that shit.
Yeah.
And then it cut away to Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Will Smith walking up there, because you saw the look that was given to him by Jada Pinkett. She has a very evil look to her. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she gets that look on her face. You're like, oh, well, we already kind of know she's kind of a bitch as it is. And then it cuts away to him going on the stage, and Chris like, oh no. And I don't think he knew what was going to happen. I don't think he knew. And of course they're going to keep it on him when he smacked him. Ratings, dude. Chris Rock wasn't wrong. That right there, that made history that night. That's going to go down in every fucking award show moment, top 10 thing, for the rest of days, man.
That goes back to why I think it was a work. They had record low ratings last year.
Yeah.
Now, a couple days later, I'm kind of 80-20 with it, because I think that was the safest room in the world they could have did that in, because there's just celebrities, there's PR, there's their agents. That's all the people that's in that room that's going to protect them. And they're just spineless, really. They're just going to pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And hope it goes away, because that's the way it is now.
So, I was just saying real quick, going back to the cutting away thing, because there was more I was going to say about that, is after he walks away and it's still on Chris Rock, you hear Will Smith say it the first time, and then it goes to him. I wish we could see, because I wish there was a camera that was getting them when he sat down and all that stuff, instead, because it did cut away to that. So there's moments we don't know what Jada had said to him when he got back, or before he went up there.
It looked like she just had a look, and that
but then it cut away. It cut away.
Yeah, and that was enough to flip the switch on Will. And I think everyone's just still a little bit crazy from the last 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
I think everyone's a little hypersensitive and just a little bit crazy still. Because it's been a couple years.
I think Will Smith was humiliated by his fucking wife on fucking, national TV. And he's still trying to fucking make amends in some way with that. And no way would ever think. There's so many other actors we would not have ever thought that the Fresh Prince would do that. But
saying, he's from West Philly. Just saying.
Born and raised.
You don't mess with people from Philly. Clearly. My thing is, I wish people would shut the fuck up about it. First off, it's not our marriage. Second off, it's Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
They're not real people mostly, and third off, there's a hell of a lot more things to be concerned about than one fucking incident.
Because if everybody's hoping that Hollywood is going to take the moral high ground on anything,
No.
There's a reason why people say "burn Hollywood, burn" for a reason.
It's a pretty evil place.
And that's it. And they need to just let it go, because if they take that Oscar from him, oh my God, that's going to open up a whole.
We won't even go there because I've already got it in my head. Yeah.
Because I do believe Weinstein still has his Oscar. They didn't take it from him.
Oh yeah, because it's okay.
Weinstein.
Like, people like to take the moral high ground, and people forgot Weinstein, or especially fucking Roman Polanski.
So if they take the Oscar from Will over that, all fucking hell is going to break loose, and we really won't hear the end of it then. So
Oh my God, you'll see the LA riots part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Man, could you imagine if Ricky Gervais was still hosting it this year?
Well, that motherfucker told him how it was.
He did, and you see how Tom Hanks reacted. How
did Tom Hanks react?
He was not. It always cut to him, and he was like, he was pretty disturbed by the whole thing. But Tom Hanks is an asshole, and he called everybody out in that fucking that place that night. I was like, I became a fan of him immediately from that.
I mean, Ricky Gervais is historically an asshole. Everyone knows that.
Oh yeah, but he's totally true though. He's totally true on the shit he says though. I love the guy.
He's the first person to tell you that he's an asshole, probably, but he'll be like, "I'm an asshole, but I'm just telling you what I think."
Yeah, just like Dennis Leary. But anyway, so are we good on that? Are we good on that topic now?
I'm totally good on that.
Yeah. All right, cool. We've got it the way we've covered it.
Yeah.
Moving next. So what's on the topic? Because we have had multiple things happen.
Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters, the amazing drummer of 10 bands, passing away at 50. Crazy.
So sad. Yeah. I think that was right when we got done with the show last week.
Yep.
I think it happened.
What?
No, Taylor passed away.
When we were doing Tales from the Podcast is when they had just released that he died, that they found his body. Okay. So that was Friday. So that was Friday. Yeah, because we were doing Studio 666, and then while we were doing that show is when they discovered his body, and then within 3 minutes afterwards, I got a message from Ron saying, "Wow, that's really weird you all did that episode tonight because they just said that they found Taylor Hawkins dead," and me and JB were so fucking shook up over that. It was like, what the fuck? It fucked me up because I've always liked him as a drummer, and I think especially in recent times, he definitely proved that he's one of the greats. And it's fucking sad, man. It really is.
It is 50 years old, and they were literally on tour, and they were going to play the next night.
And they canceled the rest of their tour dates, I believe, didn't they?
Well, I'm not surprised.
They still had a lot to go, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. Yeah. They had 10 or 15 or more shows.
Well, did you see Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction, which is one of my favorite bands of all time?
Yeah, I forgot they were really good friends.
Yeah, and him and his wife, they did a video message, and his wife played. It was the night that Taylor Hawkins died, and it was the last message that he left him, and it was him saying, because you could hear this video of they're talking about it, this is the last message we got from him, and in the voice message he says, "Hey, I love you guys. I love you all a lot. You all take care of you. I'm gonna take care of me, and I'll see you in wherever." And it was just I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard to watch that and to hear that because it's man, it's there's too many. I hate the fact that he died, but I hate the fact even more how he died. Because now he goes down in rock and roll history as another one that succumbed to, abusing alcohol and drugs, and drugs specifically. But
I think it was the opiates and the benzos, because people don't realize how fucking addictive the benzos are.
Well, yeah, drugs, yeah. I ain't talking about the THC that was found in the system. You kidding me?
No. Benzos is the pills that are very habit forming. I know about benzos because a lot of people are prescribed them.
Yeah. Oh, I know they are. Yeah.
They linger in your system, number one, because they stick to your fat cells.
Yep.
They're in your system for a couple of weeks. So
that's actually the one thing that pissed me off about, speaking of the THC, the toxicology report said like the marijuana, like that's the first thing they mentioned. I'm like, first off, that didn't fucking kill him, so shut the hell up.
Right.
Like, it's so dumb. Why would you mention the fucking marijuana part?
They've got to release. But they've got to release everything that was, you know. It's just another thing to show, like, you know, what all was in his system, that he was, you know, not in his right mind or whatever, you know. But
it's just another way to demonize like a drug that doesn't kill people left and right.
I mean, I'm not dead. You know,
no, I know, but I'm
still kicking.
I understand the toxicology report, but you shouldn't jump to the marijuana. Maybe you should jump to the, I don't know, the fucking opiates or benzos. Yeah. The benzos that are literally things that are prescribed, and doctors are like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. Like, bullshit. I know more people that died from those fucking things than anyone else for any other drug that you can think of. It's always prescription drugs.
Yeah, I'm glad that I had my battle with those about 12 years ago. About 11,
and they're hard to get off of. People don't understand. Like, they're really fucking hard to get rid of.
You know what actually helped me get off of them? Smoking lots of weed. True. It helped when I was going through my withdrawals from coke, when I was going my withdrawals from painkillers and shit like that. It was miserable. I mean, especially my health the way it is and my body the way it's built. It sucked, really sucked. And weed, cannabis, helped my ass hardcore. So. Fuck anybody has a problem with fucking like THC, so I get what you're saying. But it's just kind of funny, right? Tangent! No. Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's just mind-blowing because like Foo Fighters are literally the biggest band of our generation. And it'll go down as Taylor Hawkins, just sadly another rock and roll casualty of drugs.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. He's up there with, you know...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just getting, he's up there with, you know, fucking John Bonham, and he's, you know, with
that's right, people. Bonham did die, stuff like that too.
Yeah, you know, and he was one of the best drummers of all time, you know, old Bonzo.
And he died younger. He died much younger.
He died younger than I am now.
Yeah,
so I think he was in his like mid-30s, I think.
Yep.
Or early 30s or something. Yeah, it's fucked up when you think about that shit. But you know, up there with all the greats, man. You know, like all of them. You know, it sucks that's where his legacy goes to, is casualties of drugs, and I hate that. That breaks my heart. It really does. As a drummer, he was seriously fucking amazing, and I think he was underrated in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, I was a fan of his drumming even back on Jagged Little Pill, and
yeah, I forgot about that. I'm like, wow, he was the drummer for freaking like Alanis Morissette. That's
and when he became the drummer for Foo Fighters with their second album, Color and the Shape, which I think that's like one of their best albums of all time. I recognized him immediately in the Monkey Wrench video. I was like, is that the motherfucker that played with Alanis Morissette? Oh shit, it is. He's moving up in the world. Like, you know, so it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. So
yeah.
So you know, so I don't think you all have a shot or anything, but you know, since we're live,
have a shot.
I'm gonna have me a shot for fellow drummer that's no longer with us anymore. So
cheers
to Taylor Hawkins.
Hello.
Yeah. You hear me?
Andrew froze up.
Yeah, you see it? That's a great face to freeze up on.
There you go.
There you are. You were just like this. It's like your crush just called you or something.
Doing it?
I don't know. You're fine now. We can hear you. You're still froze up.
Damn it! I'll be back.
All right.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Well, you're fine now. Oh, you're fine now. Oh, well, never mind. You're frozen again. Oh, poor Andrew. Always something. Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, like that shit sucks. Where are you? You ever been a Foo Fighters fan?
Yeah, I always dug their sound. And, up there he is again. He's ringing. He's ringing.
Ding.
And Dave
Dear
Grohl,
God, I don't know what the fuck.
you're just one of those dudes. You're like, I could hang out with that guy and have a good time.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, he's had so many fucking friends. I mean, that was something else that I was worried about that when everything I was thinking, I was like, man, how the fuck? Like, I'm worried about Dave. You know what I mean? Like being somebody that remembers when Nirvana was around and being a fan of him then, and then seeing Foo Fighters blow up to what they did, and it's like, man, I don't want to see Dave Grohl upset. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Yeah. We need. This is the thing. We need Dave Grohl. We need Foo Fighters. They are one of the best, if not the best, rock band that's come out in the past 20 years. They are straight to the point. They're good rock and roll, and they make you move, they make you groove, man. I just I worry about Dave. I worry about the other guys too.
Do what?
Huh?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, he's having my issues that I used to have.
It's always one of us. At least it's not all of us.
Yeah.
There you
go.
There you go. No. As soon as I say something, you freeze
if
up.
we can hear you, talk. Okay, so wait, Andrew.
I'm not going to say anything this time because it's like I jinx it every time. See?
If we can at least hear him, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know if it's all freezing all at once. Welcome to live.
Finger on the thing.
Welcome to a live podcast show.
We can't fix it in post.
Yeah, right. Nah, fuck it. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Doesn't matter. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Andrew?
Okay. Talk. Are you talking? Nope. He gone.
Oh, my.
God damn it. Where the fuck is Chad?
Depressing episode.
Yeah, because we're not even done talking about the depressing shit either because we got to go to Bruce Willis.
No. Bruce
That
Willis.
dude. Andrew will be here in a second. He can, but the Bruce Willis thing, man, that dude, Die Hard. I used to watch fucking what was the TV show he was on? Moonlighting. My mom used to watch that shit. Him and Sybil. Yep. Like I held my. He's actually related. He's a distant cousin of one of my friends, actually, one of my old friends, and he actually gave her first computer.
Wow, really?
Yep.
That's because I remember my parents used to watch Moonlighting too, but I was so young I didn't really understand.
Yeah, Bruce Willis was homeless for a while before Moonlighting happened and shit, and a little bit beforehand too, if I remember correctly.
I think he did a couple commercials.
Yeah, and
then there he is.
Oh, is Andrew back?
Just in time.
We're talking about Willis now. We just started.
Hooray! I wish this damn stream would stop acting like this. Okay, here we go.
So do we, Andrew. So do we. But yeah,
come to the party, have a few laughs.
Yeah, right. Man, Bruce Willis,
California.
Bruce Willis has always been one of my favorite like action hero kind of guys. I mean, he didn't start off as an action hero. I mean, Moonlighting, Blind Date was it's a classic comedy.
I love that movie.
It's so good. John Larroquette's in it too. I might actually go back and watch it.
Great asshole. John Larroquette always played such a great asshole.
And does a great narration for Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
Yes. Because
everyone that knows about like Bruce Willis being a great actor, I still love the fact that he actually is a singer. People forget that he actually has he had a music career.
Yeah, he did. Yep. Like I was reading up because I didn't even really know what it was he had. I'd never heard of it before.
I had never heard of it either. But when you read about it, you were just like, damn.
It crushes you because you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought dementia was bad, but this version of dementia is like fucking wow. Regular dementia doesn't suck that much.
I mean,
it's still bad, but
did you all watch the roast of Bruce Willis?
I don't really remember.
Hilarious.
Well, here's the fucked up thing. It was a great roast, and he took it in stride. But the thing was, there was a lot of jokes made about him seeming lost. And it's like now it's like.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize it at the time that it was about actual something he had. I thought it was like, oh, they're just fucking with him.
I don't even think it was. I don't think it was that. I don't think he knew it then. That's been a few years ago now. But it's just kind of fucked up, I remember being, as a kid, me and my mom was the one that got me watching Moonlighting and Die Hard and all that shit. Hell, my mom took me to go see Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why she took me to go see it is because she's like, it's got Bruce Willis in it. It can't be that bad.
Mm-hmm. It's a Tarantino movie. It's definitely.
Then the pawn shop scene happened, and that's a whole other story. My mom said she was sorry so many times on the way home. Because when it was getting ready to happen, when they were getting ready to go in there, and you saw Marcellus Wallace getting it from behind.
No, we had never seen anything like that before.
My mom was already like, I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but you need to go to the bathroom right now. I was like, but why? She's like, I have a bad feeling. Mom has a bad feeling. The theater that I saw it in was the bathrooms. You didn't have to leave the theater. It was inside. And you could hear it.
Yeah, that's when you find out it's Tarantino, and it's not a kid's movie.
Well, he was still kind of new back then.
True.
That was only his second big movie.
Yeah. Reservoir Dogs was pretty big for him, but not as big.
I don't think Reservoir Dogs was shown in all that many theaters.
It was. It didn't get popular until after Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was his big breaker. But I mean, he also, he wrote, the script for Natural Born Killers. He wrote, he did True Romance. There was a couple other movies.
It's funny. Like I was they did a poll for his best movies, and for some strange reason they didn't mention Four Rooms. I'm just like, guys, he did that movie.
It's for they
rated all his movies. They rated all his movies by and I'm just like, why did you forget that movie? Like, it's legitimately his first movie he's ever done.
Going back to Bruce Willis, though, because we don't want to get too far off on this one, because this is one of those. So just out of curiosity, because we're all Die Hard fans, right?
Mm-hmm, of course.
Indeed.
Okay. First three.
Now number one is the most amazing one. Okay, so we don't even. This isn't even. Out of all of them, besides the first one, which one's your favorite?
Third.
I like the third, but I'll actually make an argument for the fourth movie because the script for the fourth movie was so solid.
It was good. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Like it was the last okay, I'm a bit biased because it was in Baltimore, and I thought it was a classic because it had like a lot of great scenes. It had a little bit different stuff that you're not used to seeing from Bruce.
Yeah,
and it was the last movie where it seemed like. See, I didn't know about his issue with acting until that when he mentioned he was retiring, and I'm like, okay, that explains why in a lot of his movies he kind of seems off. That explains a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know how long the fucking symptoms though, and how somebody picks that up. So it would have been back then. I think it was just his acting style when it came to that, bro. But. I will because I love Bruce Willis so much. We can blame the last couple of Die Hard movies on that then.
Oh man, Live Another Day to Die Hard.
No.
I thought the third one got everything up so nice. Like the third one was, God, I wish they just would have stopped there. because it wrapped everything up. So, like, we finally got to see him in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The same. Who directed him? What's his name?
Oh shit!
John McTiernan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
John McTiernan.
Yeah.
He did the third one. Samuel L. Jackson was so good. Like,
He was great.
Thing. He just
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons is just fantastic as Hans Gruber's brother.
Yes,
Like Hans Gruber's little brother.
Yes,
it's
that was perfect.
Oh,
So, like, everything went full circle.
Yeah.
My dad hated the racist shit. Oh, he got, because we went to the theater to go see it. Oh, he was mad. He was like, they just ruined it. Because he hates it.
See, that's the funny part. I feel like Samuel Jackson really loved that part because it was the thing. Like, what person would do? Like, what would you expect some black guy to make a white guy go do?
What would be the most horrible thing this villain could have our hero do? What's the worst position he could put him in?
Well, see, me and my mom saw that in theater together too, and like, and like that opening scene in that movie, like she's like, oh, yeah, like I was like, man, like, but I get it, I get why they did it and all that stuff, or whatever. And also because it was also like kind of a foreshadowing for the rest of the movie with Samuel Jackson and him. Because it was also showing that John McClane wasn't being racist, but Samuel L. Jackson's character was.
And they because in any other situation, that Samuel L. Jackson character probably just would have ignored him.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It had to be something that was enough to bring that character over to him.
Yeah. He's like, those guys over there, you're about to have a very bad day.
Yeah. Without the villain knowing, because the villain didn't want him to have any help. Or a good Samaritan.
No, exactly. So he purposely did that for a reason, and that's the reason why they chose that.
Character would not have gone across the street.
I have a very bad headache. I have a very bad headache today.
I got a very bad day. I just need you to step back.
Yeah, when the guy throws an iPad and sticks in the thing.
Hey Zeus, do I look Puerto Rican to you?
No,
it's just Zeus. It ain't hey, it's just Zeus.
King of the gods. Shoving a lightning bolt straight up your ass, Zeus.
Even John McClane is like, wow, no, I don't have a problem with that. Even he was like,
I remember like the beginning of it where they're like they get John McClane in there and they're telling him like, look, this guy he wants to, and he's like, what? Put on a dress and fuck me? And they're like, no, I was gonna say kill you.
Oh my God.
He's like, what? Because the guy was on the phone with Gruber. And he's like, what do you want with John McClane? He's like 2 steps away from being a full blown alcoholic. He goes, one step away. I mean, come on, Hudson Hawk. Like, you know, I like, dude.
I think that's one of the more underrated Bruce Willis movies.
Agreed.
It is, because he's literally
that movie.
He's barely a functioning alcoholic, and he somehow takes down like one of the biggest terrorists in the world, brother.
Yeah.
In his own right, who was a really successful terrorist and Nazi, because, you know, why not?
Is there some part of that character that had a kind of a death wish anyway?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. You're not going to stop me. I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Had one of my favorite bits about in any Die Hard. Simon says, you're going to go to the corner of.
he's like, look, I couldn't get on the phone. He's like, you should simply say that a fat woman was on it and you couldn't get on it. And he's just like, wait, he's looking at me somewhere. He's around here. Like, like when they think the bomb's getting ready to go off, and they're like, everybody down, it's a bomb. And they get down and they just looking around. Everybody's like throwing like money at them, like they're homeless. And they get on the phone and like he's like laughing at them.
I didn't say Simon says. That's my favorite part of the whole movie, where he fakes the school bombs. The most fucked up thing you can do is pretend there's bombs in schools going to kill children, and then they go off and it's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Like that was, Die Hard with a Vengeance was damn good. I like Die Hard 2, but it's not one that I watch. Like it's not nearly as gripping as the first in the third arc. You know what I mean?
What is it? I could never figure Die Hard 2 out because like I loved it, but like I see what people are saying.
It's the pacing. It's just it's the pacing. It's just really weird. It takes place in Dulles, so it's around DC area. It's about a religious terrorist, which is oddly a lot more relevant than any of the other movies are.
Yeah.
And the villain is so relentless.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
the stakes are higher because of the planes. His wife's on one of the planes. And
it's a lot more closer to home.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's a lot more. It's a lot more like based on what actually could happen.
Maybe
and I think a lot of people
they're standing around in the terminal a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe I see what you're saying. That's a good point.
The best thing about Die Hard 2, Die Harder, was that was the cheesiest fucking title, but it was
I know the tagline for that movie, Die Harder.
Yeah. Anytime I saw certain batteries, it went through my head.
Yeah, exactly.
But the best thing about that movie, though, was the Dennis Franz character and John McClane going.
Character was amazing.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, old cop from? Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis Franz in anything, just hilarious.
Yeah, I'm an old Blue fan. Yeah, man.
Like, what sets off the metal detectors first? The lead in your ass or the shit in your brains?
Yeah.
Like he was brutal with him.
He really was. And I think a lot of people didn't like it just because it just felt like it's more grounded than the first movie, and people I don't think they were ready to watch a movie where it's like, oh, planes are hijacked by religious terrorists. This isn't terrifying.
Now it is.
Very different.
No, that's what I said. The movie ages way better than you want it to.
Yeah, that actually was one of the reasons why I have a fear of flying. It's because of that movie. I'm not even kidding either.
Yeah, that movie did such a good job of scaring the fuck out of people that didn't like flying to begin with.
I first saw Die Hard 2 when I was, I don't remember how old I was, but we were visiting in Texas or Virginia with family. We had to fly a plane there and back. And while I was there, I saw Die Hard 2.
That great movie to watch right before a plane.
As a kid, I did not want to get on that plane. and now I'm just like, nope. I am more not gonna do that than any other time in my life. Like I'm cool being grounded here. I don't need to be up high. Okay, it wasn't meant for me to fly, so I'm cool. Just being on the ground, I'll be a fucking turtle. I don't know.
I'm not ashamed to admit that the reason I'm scared of spiders is from arachnophobia.
I was scared of spiders before that, but yeah, it's a damn good movie.
Fucking movie. There was something about when the spiders hissed. That fucked me in the head. They'd be like.
But since we mentioned the other Die Hard movies, we can briefly talk about 4 and 5. 4 had a pretty decent plot. 4 was a little bit more like based on like modern technology around hacking. And Justin Long's character was actually pretty damn good in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people forget Maggie fucking Q was in that and she killed it.
Fucking Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant was perfect for that movie. Just what he did. His character.
I like everything he's in.
Yeah.
Justified, man.
What's the
one thing about Die Hard? The one thing about Live Free or Die Hard that I thought was really ridiculous is how over the top they made it. Like, it was cool, but then it just got to the point like, okay, well, what else is going to happen?
Yeah.
Die Hard 5. If you thought Die Hard 4 was over the top, boy, the first fucking 10 minutes of Die Hard, Another Day to Die Hard was like, oh, they're dodging gunfire from the fucking Russian mafia. What?
Did you all see Hostage?
Yeah.
It was basically like a bad ripoff of Die Hard.
It was really, thank you, exactly. I was just like, why are you ripping off your own movie?
I guess he thought Nickelback could do it with their music. He could do it with his movies.
worked for them. And I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that Once Upon a Time, Tears of the Sun was supposed to be Die Hard 4.
I heard that too, actually. Yeah.
They weren't supposed to make any Die Hard movies after 9/11. They swore they were done with them.
Yeah.
How that works in Hollywood as well.
Yeah. And people were like, we want it back.
Movies.
Yeah. But no, I thought Die Hard 4 was like the perfect post 9/11 movie to not shove it down your face, but clearly mentioning that it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. The other cool thing, though, just talking about, like, you know, John McClane in general and all that shit, was the fact that, like, he was a character that you almost like knew, like you kind of knew that guy in some way, shape, or form, like a guy that pisses people off that much. You know, like it's like in the first one when his wife like sees the terrorists getting her all pissed off, and she's like, "It's John," right. And they're like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "No human being can make someone that mad except for John."
Mm-hmm. Take it from me, I'm his wife.
Right? Yeah, but the character of John McClane also kind of. It was kind of almost like in the same like thing as like Dirty Harry.
Where, it totally was. It had to be
you know, Dirty Harry was the first. Dirty Harry was the first. Like, it's a cop that kills people. Basically, he shoots them. There's no big deal. Like, he make whatever. He's not suspended. He's fine. And John McClane, you know, just like in the first one. Oh, you wouldn't hurt me. You're a police officer. Police officers have rules. He goes, yeah, that's what my captain keeps telling me. Like, come on, man. Like, God damn it. Yeah, man.
But they even made a mention about Dirty Harry during the movie, if you paid attention. Like, they actually referenced Dirty Harry, like, once or twice. It's kind of funny.
Do they?
Yeah. It's not, like, outwardly, oh, yeah, Dirty Harry, but, like, it's when Hans Gruber makes that mention about Cowboy. And then how he loves westerns, and like they mentioned about like modern day like movies.
I remember he said Rambo.
He said Roy Rogers. That was brought up.
He said he was more partial to Roy Rogers, actually.
Yeah.
I think maybe
motherfucker.
Dirty Harry. I remember he said Rambo. He watched. Yeah. Like, he said, "Are you just one of those guys that watch too much American television?"
Yeah.
John Wayne.
I was kind of partial to Roy Rogers myself. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I think he just said
no. It was
Rambo. I think he just said John Wayne and Rambo. You have to fact check me.
I don't. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it.
Well, no, I don't. You can watch over and over again. I mean, I think it came out in 1988,
89.
It was something like that. 89. Yeah.
Or
I mean, you really can.
I think it was.
I think it came out in 88. Yeah, 88. I watched it. I watched that movie first when I was way too young. I was probably like 10 or 11.
Yeah, Mommy, what's that guy doing in the office? Like on the.
Oh yeah, just like explicit drug use. Not even like, oh yeah, he's doing coke.
I was just making a call, and then he says like I didn't get it till I was older. But when he says you got something, you left a spot or something.
I didn't pick that up until I watched it as an older person. I'm just like, oh, that's what he was doing.
I thought he was really annoying because he was so loud.
Yeah, I mean, he was the character that was really annoying.
I can give him to you.
Yeah, he was. He was literally the
puppy. Yeah.
Yeah, God, I fucking hated him. I was so glad when they killed him.
Ellis, you're really dangerous people, Ellis. You don't know what you're doing. He's like, do not tell them anything, Ellis. He's like, Ellis I told them that you were my friend at the party. It's like, oh, you fucking idiot. It's okay. We all wanted him to die anyway.
Exactly. Well, Ellis was like one of those characters, just like, yeah, he's just there to die and to betray everybody because he's just a fucking selfish dick who wants to protect himself and nobody else. Yeah. He's that character.
And I like how his wife wasn't, especially back then in the 80s, she wasn't the typical damsel in distress. She put up
right. Oh yeah.
She was yelling at the terrorists, get off me. And
who died? Who died? Made you? or who made you boss or whatever. She's like,
yeah,
and she's like, you did the minute you killed my boss.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, ah.
And they're just like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah, it was cool to see that too.
That has probably one of my favorite endings in an action movie, though.
Yeah,
Where like they're talking, and then like, and that reaction from Alan Rickman when he falls is legitimate because they didn't tell him they were supposed to let him go on 3. They let him go on 2 or like 1 or 2 or whatever. And so he's like, and he was actually really pissed off about that. They said apparently,
but that's actually genius to get that real reaction.
That's brilliant.
Some of the best directors, man, I'm telling you. Hey,
at the end of the Exorcist, I think he really smacked the guy in the face to get him to. After the priest fell down the steps, he couldn't get a good take of him like shaking.
Yeah,
as he died, and he said he smacked him across the face.
But rest in peace to Alan Rickman.
Got him shaking like that.
It would be like what 9 or 10 years since he's been gone.
Are you serious?
2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's been that long.
I know, right? It's hard to believe that he's literally gone longer than both David Bowie and Prince.
And I think
we watched a lot of good ones.
One of the stories of Die Hard goes that the studios wanted to get rid of Alan Rickman.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm like, so your biggest actor in the movie, you're just like, we don't fucking need him.
Could you imagine that movie without him?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same at all.
It would be Die Harder 2.0
Well, they just got Jeremy Irons. I'll be right back. Okay, I gotta go do something just real quick. I'll be right back though.
Right.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I think I hear Chadwick approaching. It couldn't have come any quicker because, man, I got to take a piss like you would not believe.
But yeah, no, the last Bruce Willis movie I saw was Glass, and I thought that was a great. If that's his last movie to go out on, then at least it was that movie. I'm one of the few people that like the trilogy.
I did. I liked them. I think he did
Unbreakable.
A lot of video on demand and.
Yeah, but Unbreakable was literally like one of the best movies he did after like Die Hard.
And that was 97, 98.
Yeah, that was 2000.
99, I think.
99? Okay, wow, okay. But
I'm
yeah,
back.
we're talking about Unbreakable and how awesome Bruce Willis was in Unbreakable.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a very underrated movie too.
It is. It's so good.
It really is.
If you want to talk about a grounded superhero movie, boom, Unbreakable.
I didn't like how he died in Glass.
Oh my god, I hated.
I thought he could have went out a little bit better than that.
I haven't seen Glass yet.
The ending was just. Okay, spoiler alert for. The ending to Glass was just like it's your typical fucking M. Night Shyamalan twist, and it really annoyed me that was the ending.
Oh, did M. Night Shyamalan, does he pop out of like Bruce Willis's ass at the end of it? That's what he does.
That's the twist.
That would have made the ending better.
He pops out of his stomach like Alien. He's like, I'm so amazing. Look at me. Ah.
No. It was the joke. It was the stupid joke in the first movie about how like his weakness, like every superhero has a weakness. What's your weakness? Oh, water. Yeah.
I can see it being water, but in that little puddle. I mean,
no, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, everyone died. It's so dumb. Like, I get it. You wanted to be you wanted a trilogy, and now you're not going to have anything else after that. Even though you claim that you wanted more things after that, but you killed everybody.
Yeah, then he went made old.
But it's like with Hudson Hawk, I just don't think people got the joke.
Yeah, that was one of those jokes where it's just like you had to watch every goddamn like detective movie from that time period to get that.
And cartoon.
Cartoon.
Yeah. And also another one was it Color of Night that he was it Color of Night that Bruce Willis was in? Where it's like it's been years since I've watched it, but like I think he was a killer or something like that, or a woman thought that he was killing women.
I know I've never seen it. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember if I've seen it or not.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Bruce Willis is known, mainly for John McClane. That was his. That's
or not.
Right, yeah, and he can't. I mean, he's never been able to get away from it. But there's no argument. I mean, Bruce Willis is one of my favorite actors of all time. He was just the cool guy. Like, that was. I remember going to school. This is gonna make me look stupid, but I remember going to school after watching Die Hard when I was younger. I think it was Die Hard 1, and I was in elementary school. And I thought if I acted really cool and smart assy, it would get the chicks. And and what it did was get me in fucking detention in elementary school.
Oops.
Yeah. Why? I don't really understand. He was so nice, and I was just such a smart ass.
I remember playing Die Hard when I was a kid in elementary school. Whenever it would start snowing.
Yeah.
Like whenever it was flurrying, like it was in Die Hard 2, I was like, "Oh, let's go play Die Hard, guys." Okay. And I remember buying one of those plastic toy guns like they had in the first one. I don't know what that weapon's called, but it was one like that, which they could never sell now. But they actually did used to sell toy guns like that back.
That was real fun.
They used to sell all sorts of fucking toy guns back then.
And it was painted orange, but I would paint it black, of course.
I got in trouble because I took the wrong backpack to school. Because I took a backpack because my parents were split up, and so I would take a backpack to my dad's house with all my toys and stuff in it, and I'd have my backpack for school. I grabbed the wrong backpack, which had my 357 Magnum. It looked real, dude. Like, I mean, the chamber and everything. Like, I mean, the only thing on it that saved me was the fact that it had an orange tip, but it fell out of my cubby hole. Oh, and my teacher, all she saw was the handle, and she flipped the fuck out. And I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "No, you don't understand. It's they're like, oh, because they thought like they had a cop.
You don't understand.
Like the teacher wouldn't. I was like, pull it out, like seriously. I was like, pull it out, like it's fake. It's fake. She's like, I'm not touching it. They had a cop come out and everything, and he looked at it and he was like, I was like, it was an accident. I explained it. My mom explained it, and it was all taken care of. But it almost got me in some serious shit as a kid.
Could you imagine if
they get off that easy now?
Yeah, could you imagine that stuff happened now? They would have like a fucking full armed squadron.
Who's at 11? 6-year-old fucking has a 357 Magnum at school, or does he?
It'd be all over Facebook. The cops would probably tase you.
Yeah. Be a riot.
But you would live. You would live. It's okay.
My family would sue. That'd be like the biggest thing, like that shouldn't be.
Because I used to.
It would be the biggest news to happen in West Virginia since
It looked like a 9mm, but it was a BB gun. Remember how the BB guns used to be like the real metal?
Yeah.
It looked like a real gun.
I've got one of them.
I had one of those.
It was my dad's when he was a kid.
You could load it and everything, and it would.
It's got
like a real gun.
Yeah, it came with actual real It came with caps that almost looked like the bullets. Yeah, I remember those.
And they weren't even painted orange.
Nope.
There was when I was in middle school when Columbine happened. There was a jackass that thought it would be a good idea to bring a couple of cap guns to school, and he was running through the halls going, and people were literally like, I mean, it just happened.
Oh my god! Really? 5 minutes later.
Yeah, and then people blew up the fucking bathroom with fucking firecrackers. They put fucking cherry bombs in the fucking. They had no. I was in there for one of those. And somebody put a fucking cherry bomb in a fucking toilet and blew the motherfucker up. And I'm like, I didn't do it. And I'm like trying to run away, and the principal's like, no, you're with me. And I was fucked. I was like, I didn't see you did it.
That same day, all of me and my goth friends, and since I was wearing a trench coat at the time, we're all warned to not wear our trench coats because of what happened.
Yep.
I'm like,
I had friends that went to that school. Well, I should have. Yeah. Well, I was in school, they transferred because they moved. Like his family was in Kentucky, and it was it was bad. It's one of those fucking things, man. That actually goes back to the John McClane thing, though. Is as a kid, you watch Die Hard and all that stuff, and for me, I'm like, somebody takes, you had that fantasy in your head of like, all right, somebody tries to take over the school, and then like you're the thorn in their side, and you become the fucking hero, and you know all that shit or whatever. And that went through my head, me and my friends' heads all the time about shit. And then as we got older and it became more prevalent that school shootings was a thing, it was like, nah, we don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do.
Well, the people that tried to play the hero, like some of them lived, but you know, sadly, a lot of them died. Like trying to protect the kids or trying to attack them.
Yeah, let's go off this topic. This is we're really depressing it up tonight. God damn,
we're gonna bring up Columbine. Columbine happened. God,
we need Chad to come tell us about how he's met somebody else awesome. Like he's probably like he's running late because he just ran into like fucking Meryl Streep. Like I don't know what's going on right now.
Wait, I got it. So something that I thought was really cool. For the first time, I think ever, someone at the Oscars actually won an award who was deaf. And
he played a Tusken Raider, didn't he?
Yeah, and I haven't watched the rest of the Book of Boba Fett, but I know it can't get any less boring than what it is at episode 4.
Yeah, the last episode was actually really good.
Well, that's good, but damn it, I'm on episode 3 and 4. Like it should be better than that.
Well, that's good, Andrew says. Shit, I've been watching.
Sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it just became Mandalorian season 3. I'm not complaining, but it's supposed to be about Boba Fett, and when you replace your main character with a character that everyone loves, it's kind of a bad sign that you already failed as a TV show.
Am I the only one in here that like isn't a huge Star Wars fan?
Sorry.
I mean, no. Like as a kid, I really got into like A New Hope and like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. But it didn't hit me as much as like Indiana Jones. Like was like my favorite when it came to that kind of shit. I preferred Indiana Jones. I still prefer Indiana Jones over the Star Wars movies.
Well, irony, George Lucas also did Indiana Jones, so.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like I had a lot of friends that were, it's like I had my friends like Tombstone. I had my friends like Young Guns, and I love both of them. But
wow,
I always Young Gunned it.
Young Guns.
And freaking Emilio Estevez was in Young Guns as well.
Very underrated sequel. I like the sequel better than the original.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. But the second one, it gets a lot of shit. I like the angle they went with it. Because there was a guy that did come out, and that's based on true shit. There was a guy that said that he was really Billy the Kid. And he died while telling his story, or shortly after telling his story or whatever. And I thought that was a really good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I thought Young Guns 2 wasn't that bad either because, like you said, I like the whole thing where it's just like, was he Billy the Kid or was he not Billy the Kid?
Yeah. But the first one, though, man, come on. The first one, come on.
Oh, I love the first one.
Prince of Pistoliers.
Better.
You know what, though? I actually love the fact that you love the second one better, though. Because that movie, I cannot find any of my friends that like the second one. I was the only one that liked the second one. So that's cool. I can dig that.
And it's universally panned because, of course, it is.
Well, Christian Slater's in it too, so that also makes it good because Christian Slater's awesome.
It's like normally I'm not a big Western fan, but I can watch the Young Guns movies for sure.
Yeah, like I'm not like I'm not a huge Western guy. Like I'm not. But there are a few of those movies, like Tombstone, the Young Guns movies. I Outlaw Josie Wales, all those fucking like Clint Eastwood shit. I was raised on that shit.
Watch Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh yeah, Andrew? In case you haven't noticed, I've seen all of them, man.
Okay, well,
the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The famous scene that Back to the Future 3 parodied.
Yeah,
dude, that was Thanksgiving watching for me. That was
gotcha.
That was TNT or TBS One would always play Clint Eastwood movies on Thanksgiving. And,
was it TBS? I can't remember now.
I almost want to say it was TNT, but TBS did something too. But I'm pretty sure it was TNT. And I became a huge Clint Eastwood fan because of that. Oh, there's the man. There he is. He's wearing a hat. Wearing a hat. What hat you wearing? What is that? The sports hat.
Reds.
Yeah, I got you.
Cincinnati.
Sports ball.
Got you.
Let there be light.
So you missed all the.
We're still in the
The
middle.
topic.
Have we moved
Yeah,
on
we
to
are.
Bruce Willis? I don't know.
I mean, we're right now we're kind of like tinkering on like Bruce Willis and westerns.
Yeah.
That's a weird combo.
Yeah, it really is, right?
I got
Ooh,
Yes and no. I feel like
here's a
John.
last man standing.
I feel like John McClane was kind of supposed to be like
so
your Western
Cowboy.
hero in modern day. Yeah, cowboy. Exactly.
I mean, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. But
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
do you all remember Last Man Standing with Christopher Walken and Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
A long time
Dude,
ago.
it's very underrated as fuck. But I mean, it's kind of a western. It was like at the ass end. It was when like cars were first becoming a thing. Like that was a good movie. That was a good shoot 'em up, like call it a day kind of film. I always like that shit. Definitely.
I literally forgot that Christopher Walken was in that though.
As a bad guy, he does amazing.
Of course.
Crazy.
Yeah, of course. He's great at bad guys.
Chad,
What
since
up?
you just now got here.
I
The
did.
fuck you been doing, homie?
I was getting some more of my sleeve finished.
Mm. Can we see some of the work, or is it covered?
It's kind of covered, but you can
Well, it's
see
obviously covered. He just got it done.
Some places don't cover it up.
it's not real crazy. Like I got a bunch of little bats here,
Okay.
Okay, all right.
right around my Sam Hain skull.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Then I got some bats back here by Kiefer.
Nice.
Well,
That's a badass fucking tattoo, dude. That fucking keeps
That is
something
really
badass.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it for now.
Hell yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I feel blank at this point. I need to get this done.
oh, shut up. you feel blank. Look at that skin.
Hell yeah, dude. Fucking A. Hey,
And then
Dave.
Dave's over there, just like, yeah, look at me, nothing.
Hey, Dave.
Everyone is back.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie Last Man Standing?
Yeah.
Well, like that. Like, do you think that was like an underrated film?
Yeah.
Completely.
He's had quite a few like that I just think are underrated, and I just don't know
Mhm.
why.
Because everybody, I mean, honestly, kind of like George Reeves, he got kind of typecasted as John McClane.
John
Yeah,
McClane.
maybe
mean-
it was just during that time.
Yeah, I mean, like even in Pulp Fiction,
He played John McClane.
he was John McClane, but he was a boxer. You know what I mean? Like he always had that same thing. I think
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of Bruce Willis in the character of John McClane. I think that's actually kind of him. That's just how I always see it. It's like he's the smart assy fucking I'm gonna kick your ass and I'm gonna take as much fucking hits as I can, but I'll get the job done kind of guy.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it
remember
actually
watching.
sucks.
Butch.
I remember watching the behind the scenes for one of the diehards. I think it was like Die Hard 3, and he did mention that like people asked him, it's like, so what do you base your character off of? And he's just like, well, I am kind of a smart ass, but I'm not that good of a fighter, so I'm just like, it's just like me if I was more of a fighter type of character. So yeah, you're not wrong about that. And I'm like, okay, I can see that. I
Yeah.
am a bit of a smart ass.
And Andrew, you mentioned Bruce Willis as being a musician earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, yeah,
Right.
he had a band.
Yeah, he had a band.
He might have a band still. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't want him to. It's better than David Hasselhoff.
Oh my god, it really is.
I-
Not much of a talent there.
It's
No, I mean only
yeah.
by a smidge. I mean, it's
Not
John
by much.
McClane, the fucking harmonica. Okay.
Yeah,
What was that
It's
song?
so-
Like the big one called
it's-
like Heartbreaker or something, Heartthrob. Or
yeah,
something?
yeah. It's so painfully
Heartbreaker.
80s. And the music video, the one of the
Is it a
music
bar?
videos is so fucking hysterical. It's like, wow, what is this fucking journey with like harmonicas?
It was definitely a sign of the times when it came down to that. Like look, Bruce Willis, we love you. We appreciate everything you've done. You've been great. We appreciate John McClane, and we're saddened by the shit that's going on with him. That sucks.
Very sad.
The more I think about it, the more it really bums me the fuck out. Like it's like dude, that was my hero as a kid. That
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and also, God damn it, and also he had one of the most beautiful women. He had kids with one of the most beautiful women ever on the face of the planet.
Okay.
I don't care. Everybody says Demi Moore. Love her. Striptease is a great movie. Anyway,
Does she go in the best nipples category?
she should have. God, she should have.
Well, fun fact: Demi Moore literally
To Demi Moore's nipples.
Demi Moore when she was dating Ashton Kutcher told her about the time where he had posters of her on his wall.
That'd be weird.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, I know.
That could be out.
That's like my dad having Sally Field posters on his fucking wall and then fucking marry her. No shit. My dad had a huge thing for Sally Field. It's crazy. But I could imagine fucking having fucking Shannon Tweed or fucking Kathy Ireland. When I was a kid. God damn it.
And then dating her.
Yasmin Bleak.
Yes, those are the two posters I have.
Yeah.
And Kathy Ireland.
Oh yes, she was my favorite of Baywatch. I really hate how things have turned out with her.
I had the poster of her in the blue bikini, and I had a picture of Kathy Ireland in the Stars and Stripes bikini, right in front of my bed. So
She was always really hot on Necessary Roughness.
Yeah. Well, do you remember?
Fully Loaded, National Lampoon, Fully Loaded.
Yes, I was going to say. Do you remember the fucking Wilderness Girls with Tim Curry?
Yes.
Oh my God, Tim Curry.
And then Mr. Bass gets out at the beginning of it in the truck, and he throws down a cigarette, stomps on it, throws down a fucking cigar, stomps on it, throws down a fucking pipe and steps on it. It's just perfect. That. Everybody forgets about
movie now.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Loaded Weapon 1. It was Loaded Weapon 1.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson.
Oh man, Loaded Weapon
Sam Jackson
1.
and Emilio.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, back when National Lampoon was funny, and then when they got to the 2000s where it was just direct to DVD, I'm just
Well, it's not as bad as some of the Ernest movies that went straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Hey now,
I
I
always
like
remember
all
Jeremy
of the
Renner
Ernest
from
movies,
Secret
even
Service.
the dumb ones. Even the dumb ones.
Ernest Goes to Africa.
I don't think I ever saw that
I
one.
haven't either.
Wait, was that an actual movie, or are you just fucking with
Yep.
people?
No, it
That
is.
was an actual movie, bro.
And the poster, he has one of those masks on, I think, with the makeup.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I
How did they get away
I-
with that?
I'm
How
a
did they
Jim
get
Varney fan, man.
No, I
Mom-
love Jim Varney too, but how did they get away with that?
It was a very good film, sir.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know it's a different time, but that's even for that time. Wow, Ernest Goes to Africa.
Jim Varney, little known fact, Jim Varney was actually buried next to my aunt.
Oh, yeah.
Really? So you're related to fucking Bruce Willis and Jim Varney?
No, my friend is related to Bruce Willis.
Oh, okay.
Jim Varney, on Tell Us in the podcast, we interviewed Jim Varney's nephew. And it's weird because my aunt died when she was 16. It was a tragic thing, whatever.
Wow.
And it was bad. We'll talk later about it. And Jim Varney died years later, and I guess the plot was right there. The whole Varney family is on his side. My grandfather used to run a bunch of hotels, and he made a lot of friends. And that was something I was trying to figure out was why was it? I didn't even know that Jim Varney was buried next to my aunt until I watched a video on YouTube of some people that were in Lexington, and they were going to Ernest's grave. And I look over, and I'm like, it's my aunt you're standing on. That's weird. And come to find out, yeah, that was my aunt.
Wow.
Which I will get, whatever.
See, I don't have any cool stories about my family. Oh, wait, no, yes, I do. So, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but it's still funny to think about. My grandmother used to have her books carried by Vincent Price.
What?
What?
You need to go into that more.
You're just telling us this now.
You mentioned Vincent Price, and I'm peaked.
Well, like
He's like, I don't have
my
any big
family had
news,
some
but-
crazy. My family had some interesting stories. Like, so my grandmother must have been attending the same school Vincent Price was for probably a short time, because like he really wasn't in school like that much, because like, you know, Hollywood actor. But yeah, apparently my grandmother had some sort of thing, and like, I don't know, Vincent Price possibly had the hots for my grandmother. It's really crazy.
Whoa. You went from Vincent Price carried your grandmother's books to there was a thing. Are you telling me your grandmother used to fool around with Vincent Price?
I don't know.
Please tell me that's what you're telling me right now.
Hey, you know, back then, carrying people's books back then was like, that was a big thing. So
Right, yeah, that was yeah. I'm gonna say if it was Vincent Price, if Vincent Price you used to have a thing with your grandmother, that beats your grandmother beats every Chad story.
I agree.
Okay, and Chad has got some stories that I cry about because I'm like, really?
No,
And like that's
it's not
holy
confirmed,
grail of horror, dude.
but I was told that Vincent was sweet on my grandmother. I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Hold on,
I just can't even think about that.
talking about the grandma.
Keep talking about the grandma. He says he's going to get something.
Oh God, has he met Vincent Price too? Was he his babysitter? What the fuck, Chad? There's a picture of me and Vincent Price as a baby changing my wife's diapers.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be
Like Chad kills for this shit. Like I really like I've met some cool people. I've gotten high and drunk with a few cool people, but fucking shit.
But,
He's helped people like from falling. I mean, come on.
But yeah, no, they would tell me like, okay, so how in the world did they meet? And it's just like, well, you know, Vincent Price went to school at one point. I'm like, well, yeah, obviously. And it's just like they must have been going to the same school at the same time. Just like, well, what are the odds that fucking Vincent Price is just like, oh, she's hot.
I mean, Vincent didn't do bad with women, dude. So I'm gonna give big ups. I'm gonna give big ups to Grandma right now.
No, my grandma.
We gotta do a shot for his grandma.
Hey,
Your grandma.
Grandma. Yeah, dude, totally. I'm gonna go with that right now.
If you see pictures of my grandmother from like back then, she was a very attractive woman. So I can see why, Vincent Price though. So if they actually did fool around, then that means technically I'm related to Vincent Price. That would be like the coolest thing to ever find out about. Just saying.
You just said sometimes they fool around. So, wow.
To everybody's mind.
So is that like
that's cool as fuck.
Huh?
What side of the family?
That would be my mom's family. My mom's family was wild. I'm just like,
so
was
mine.
anybody a fucking mafioso or something? Like, Jesus. You had some weird shit going on.
I won't talk about some things in my family on here, but yeah. That's
Like
that's fucking cool. I mean, like Vincent Price he's
That's good.
God damn.
It's one of my favorite stories to tell, just because people are just like, seriously? I'm like, again, like my family's got some crazy fucking stories, and I'm just like, whether or not all of it is true, I do know part of it is confirmed by people in my family that are, that known my grandmother for a long time. So I'm just like, yeah, it's crazy.
How many eepisodes in are we into this and you never told us that your grandmother fooled around with
I dropped a bombshell in episode 12.
How the fuck do you keep that? Like, out of all the stories I've told, that Chad's told, that Dave's told, how the fuck do you keep that? Hey, my grandma used to fool around with Vincent Price. Who the fuck does it? I would be bragging about that for days.
Okay, no, I used to do.
Grandma was stuck behind, like, she was in front of Vincent Price. He was giving it to her, like, I'd be like saying it forever. Like, I'd be like screaming it. Are you kidding me?
No.
Jesus Christ. I can't take this.
He's like, I quit. Fuck it.
No, I don't.
My grandmother had sex with Vincent Price.
No, I used to brag about it all the time. No, I'm not saying that they had sex. It's not confirmed that, but obviously
they pulled around.
No, I said I said back then, carrying someone's books is, kind of like the thing to like, oh, okay, like courting
Right,
each other.
you're going steady. You're going steady. You're going steady, and you're fooling around with Vincent Price. Jesus fucking Christ. That's
but then
awesome.
again, everyone knows Vincent
He shared
Price liked
multiple
everybody.
shakes.
So Vincent Price was probably like seeing 3 other people at the same time. Probably
You know
was.
what? Though? I will say this though. No disrespect to your grandmother whatsoever on this, but that's the coolest grandma. Jesus fucking Christ! I'm gonna drink some 4 roses of that shit. Jesus hell, Vincent Price, man. Fucking shit. That's cool. Wow, I thought we were talking about way too long, but
yeah, my grandmother lived to like not like freaking like 90, so she had some stories for sure. Sadly, she didn't remember any stories. I'm just like, damn it, get to the Vincent Price story.
Oh, that's okay. My grandmother went through dementia and remembered my sister, and I had long hair at the time, and I was younger, and she thought I was one of my sister's friends. She thought I was a female. It was traumatic. And then I went and bummed a cigarette from like some 80-year-old guy in the fucking the foyer. I was like 14.
So I'm hoping that bombshell that I dropped gives us more viewers. If not, then oh well, whatever.
If they're not watching now, they don't know. So can this episode just be called never mind, I'm sorry. Now, you know what? We're gonna just I'm just gonna ignore that part of my brain right now. That's cool. That's cool shit. Hey, there we go. Get her done.
Hey, no, I'm just amazed because Chad has amazing stories. But the fact that Chad's just like, okay, that's just better than most of my stories. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
That's kind of cool.
It is, but
that's like me saying yeah, my great grandmother fucked Edgar Allan Poe. Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
How cool would that be, though? Fucking Edgar Allan Poe.
Hey, Granny, tell me stories. Wait,
again, Edgar Allan Poe was a hardcore womanizer, so that, if that ever happened like that, that wouldn't be too surprising.
Well, I would say that Vincent Price, being the gentleman that he is, he treated your grandmother really good.
True, but he was also a womanizer.
Well, I was gonna say until she found out about 4 other girlfriends, but
exactly, or guy friends. Everyone knows.
Grandma was Vincent Price's side piece.
That's
Grandma was the one playing the twins.
Still pretty cool though. Hey, again, Vincent Price.
Him.
Yeah, that's right. She was really using him. Broke his heart. That's why he went on to do all those horror movies because he was.
Where do you say the Kingler came from?
But no, everyone knows it would be he would see women and men because his daughter actually confirmed he was bi. So it's Vincent Price. He had sexual whatever.
It was kind of obvious. I mean, he was very he was very flamboyant.
Yeah. And back then, it had to be even harder to probably do that because he was just, he was so taboo then. So, just imagine that.
I have a little bust of Vincent Price. Actually, I was given about 2 years ago by a friend of mine, and Vincent Price, man, it doesn't matter what movie it is, he always steals the fucking show.
It could be the cheesiest fucking thing ever, and I love it.
Have you ever listened to the band Bell Witch?
No, I haven't.
Okay, they're a 2-piece band, 6-string bass player who does vocals, and a drummer who does vocals. I've seen them twice, and they're fucking amazing. They do a song that I'll send you to send it on the group chat later, where it's just this really cool bass line, and you have sound clips from Mask of the Red Death. And it's Vincent Price. It's the part where Vincent Price is he's talking about who are you? What are you? And he's like, wait, who are you? You get on your knees, get on your knees. And he's like, I'm not who you think I am. Like it's so good. I'll say that.
I'm familiar. I'm very familiar with that movie. I fucking love that part. I know what part you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's fucking. Killer.
Again, big fan. One of my favorite Alice Cooper songs is "The Black Widow," when he's just like, "Isn't she lovely? Such fire and such venom."
God, we have just touched down on Vincent Price and Andrew's grandmother for 10 minutes. I'm gonna say it again.
Well played, touchdown. Well played there. Well played.
I wasn't trying to make okay, yeah, thank you. I'm a very smart man. I'm very, very intelligent. I'm very witty.
No. Probably one of the most intense things I've seen from Vincent Price was the what was it? It's the role where he plays the doctor, and then the second movie where he gets buried alive and comes back from the dead. What movie is that?
Oh, you're gonna fuck me up on this one.
It came out in the 70s. Crickets.
I'm thinking, like, I know what you're talking about, but none of us know the answer to this right now.
I have an excuse. I've been awake since forever.
So,
hot dog. What the fuck?
Dave's cheating.
It's okay. He can cheat. This isn't a trivia or anything, Andrew.
What? I'm sorry. I had to do college because college is important.
I had to clean in college an hour before the trivia.
What was it? Huh?
I have to give you shit. I'm just playing around. My co-host wasn't much of it. Dave saved the day.
So who won that, by the way?
It was JB's sister. Yeah, it was not Dave, and it was not our friend Shanny. That's for sure. But Dave made it funny, so it's okay. Between you and Shanny, we gotta get Shanny in here sometime. He's funny. He's fun.
I got 8 or 9.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you got some good ones.
I had no idea what was going on. I just got thrown in there. It was fun.
Yeah.
Were the questions hard?
Some of them were. JB kept saying he's like, oh, this one it's not that bad. I'm like, because we were going through all these fucking questions for this fucking thing. I was like, dude, no one's gonna get that. And he's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. So every time with the trivia
he was talking about,
he would say oh, this wasn't that bad. It's kind of an easy one. And it's like, okay, what's the fucking name of the place in Alien 3?
Oh, it was the ship which was actually, I started to say something, but I just left it alone because that's not correct. Blanco was the ship that the Marines were on.
But see, he fucked up because it was Alien 3. He said the question in Aliens 2, and that's why when they came back, I was like, don't you mean Alien 3?
Yeah, I remember you saying it because the name of the planet was Fury 161, but you're right, she was on the window at the beginning. That's what cracked.
Yeah, because it was a prison that she ended up on. Alien 3 is my favorite one out of the movies. So,
what was the Hellraiser one?
Say that.
The Hellraiser one? There was a bunch of Hellraiser ones.
Yeah, it was. What was the title of the book? That was. Who was the first to get blood on the floor?
Whose blood brought Frank back? Yeah.
Well, fuck, I forgot that one.
It's Larry. It was the dad. He cut his head on a nail.
That one movie with the serial killer, I had no idea what he was talking about. I think it was called Wolf Creek. What was Wolf Creek?
Oh yeah, have you ever seen Wolf Creek?
Nah.
No
shit. Go watch the first one. It's based on real shit in Australia. Go watch. You've seen it, right, Chad?
forever ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
It was
Guy,
like, what
something
was
told me you've
the-
seen it.
What was the serial killer's real name? And I don't think anybody got that one. Did they?
I told him nobody would get that. I think that one person did.
Oh, Siri, Siri found it.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a question from a fucking like director's commentary. It's like super vague that no one would ever get.
Crazy.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I spared myself from being humiliated.
Well,
I didn't feel you.
it wasn't. I don't think you've been humiliated.
Hmm.
Just
No.
you probably shouldn't cancel things an hour beforehand, Andrew.
Well, I'm sorry that college comes first.
Well, I'm sorry that we already. You know what? You know what, Andrew? I love you. It all got taken care of. It's fine. I just had to hear about it. But anyway.
It all worked out. It's all right.
I love you. I love you to death. I love all you guys to death. I do. I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. I don't give a fuck.
Well, no, like when you're trying to go to college to try to escape retail, that's definitely more important.
Yeah.
Then why did you? It doesn't matter. It's all good. It got taken care of.
Because
It's
I
good.
got
I
caught up.
love you. It's all good. We don't have, we're not going to dispute this. We're live. We're live. Okay. We're not going to dispute this right now on the air. Okay. We're not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
I'm just tired and was just.
I know. But Bubby, I get it. I get it. It's all right. He's going to sleep right now. You lay down. What are you doing? Okay.
It's past my bedtime. What are you talking
I was
about?
like, I'm so tired. He went sideways. I'm like, is he going to sleep now? Like, what's with this shit?
Sideways.
Andrew, if you're about to fall asleep, buddy, we can wrap this up.
I think it's about time to wrap it up anyway, though.
Yeah. We're gonna clock out for the night.
It's been a.
Some of us are falling asleep.
It hasn't been the happiest of episodes. There's been a lot of drama that's gone
A
on.
lot of
lately.
crazy shit that's happened.
Right. There's been a lot of craziness. But as always, it's been fun.
As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please tune in next week, next Wednesday, 9 p.m. We'll be here. We are the Video Store Clerks. Good night.
Peace.